because today we've got something special in store for you. The grandest spectacle, the greatest show of all, Johnny Bang Bang Show. Here's your host, Robert Gifford.
It's me. I am the one and only, ladies and gentlemen. JBB is the game. Robert Gifford is the name. I'm sitting here, as always, with my partner in crime, Grant. He is a Mark, a sweaty Mark Clark. How we doing, buddy? You ready to roll today? We got a good show for him.
It's an AEW pay-per-view day. The marks are all out. We're ready to go. We're going to have a great day.
52 minutes and counting, so that means we are 22 minutes away from our AEW first ever prediction show. We're going to, just so you guys know, we're going to go the last half hour. We're going to kind of give our predictions here on AEW Revolution. I'm excited, man, because I got to be honest with you. This is going to be my first AEW pay-per-view to watch.
What? You've never watched one before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, you're in for a treat. This is going to be fantastic.
I know. I think I might have just lost a lot of credibility with any of the viewers that we might have. But that's how I am, man. It's like, you got to earn my respect before we get there. You know what I mean? Like, AEW comes in. I'm a diehard Vince guy. I'm a diehard WWE guy. You're the new dog. You're doing a lot of barking. You know, you gotta earn it. I'm not just going to give it to you on the first date.
You're going to be giving it today now, though. They're going to be getting it. They're going to get it. So
you think they're taking my innocence?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic show. So, but we'll talk about that later on. Don't want to waste too much time here.
That's right. So we're about 20 minutes out from that. What we're going to have going into, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a rundown today. For the next 10, 12 minutes, we're going to give you just a quick summary of what the week that was WWE. We're going to talk about Raw, Smackdown, NXT, and the best of everything else that kind of came in between. And then a little bit of a treat for them today from 7:15 to 7:30, 15-minute span. We're going to give our own Mount Rushmores. We kind of want to pull the curtain back a little bit so you guys get to know your host here. Who are we? What are we all about? I'm going to give you my Mount Rushmore. He'll give you his Mount Rushmore, and then we'll kind of debate what the actual Mount Rushmore is.
And I guarantee everybody's going to hate mine, so it's all right.
Yeah, right.
We'll have fun.
Mine will be so mainstream. Yours is probably going to be some names I've never even damn heard of. So, hey, let's jump right in if we can, because we got a lot to do. We got to do rapid fire today. So we got WWE, obviously Raw, SmackDown, Monday and Friday night. We're about 30 days away now from the greatest show of the year, the biggest spectacle. What do they always call it? The
granddaddy of them all.
The granddaddy of them all. We are going to be talking about the Bloodline. Obviously, that's still the best storyline going. Monday night, kind of a slow show with Raw. You got KO and his involvement. And it was kind of, he was in there 3-4 minutes, not even that long. And then Friday night, you got the, Solo versus Sami Zayn match. And then Jimmy comes out and he just goes full ham on him. And then you have you finally have interactions from Roman Reigns. I think, is this the first time we've seen Reigns since
Elimination Chamber?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, because they were teasing, he's coming in and he's going to handle his business. So, I mean, no, it wasn't really to address Sammy other than, I think, in a backstage. But, I mean, it was with Cody. But we still got to see Roman and his kind of tactics going on. So,
yeah.
We'll definitely talk about that. So
let's talk about it right now then.
Right.
Forget the show specific. Let's just talk about the storyline that it continues to be the Bloodline. We'll get to Roman and Cody in a second. How did you feel about this week of storytelling? Did they tell enough? Is it dying down? Is it losing steam? Are you enjoying these kind of little chapters because they're necessary to the overall story? What do you think?
Yeah, I like them a lot right now, especially I think it was Roman came in and said, take care of Sammy.
Yeah.
Just take care of him, get him done. And to the point where Solo had the match against him, and it wasn't one you have to win. It's hurt this guy. Take him out. And, Solo won with the interference, allowed him to hit the Samoan spike for the win. But then you saw at the end, Jimmy wanted to be the one who did the running hip attack with the chair.
And then Sammy got up,
hit him, and then hit the hula kick on him. So, it almost plays in the fact now, how's Roman going to respond? Because Jimmy, they could have taken him out right there.
Right.
But Jimmy I want to do it.
Right.
Now, that's going to piss Roman off at some point. So, because every time he wants this guy taken care of, instead of it being done, there's more cracks into the bloodline.
There's always this hesitation, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and clearly there was no hesitation that Jimmy wanted to do it, right? We're not sold that he didn't want to do it, but it's just he bought Sammy enough time to catch his air again, and then he gets up, and it just never happens. So it's kind of this thing that it's this crack in the foundations, like you say. It's just this annoying thing that will not go away.
Yep.
But what's crazy to me is that it's not going away, right? And first of all, before I go with what I'm going to say, is there any doubt in your mind that we're still going to get KO, Sammy, and the Usos at Mania?
I mean, no, not anymore. I mean, I think last week I was kind of still, hoping that maybe something would happen, but I think we're at that point now. It's Sammy's not getting the title match that we all kind of want at Mania. It's going to be Cody and Roman. So we'll get that tag match. So, I mean, I think I'm okay with that now.
And I'm okay with it too, and I'm fine with it. I just was kind of curious if you thought maybe they were still kind of maybe going a different direction, because Roman's name is still attached to this story with Sammy. And I get it. It's supposed to be, right? But at some point, you've got to detach Sammy and Roman and get more Sammy, KO, more Jimmy, and then we need to see more Jay.
And I think WWE's doing a fantastic job of dragging it along, because I think that moment you lose that Roman name attached to it, I think fans are going to kind of simmer down a little bit. So if you can keep him as much involved with it until the last moment, I think you're going to have better results with it. So
no, I think you're right. And what about KO's part in this so far? Are you happy with just the small little interactions that he's had, just coming in and kind of destroying them, real quick on Monday and then getting out of there? And there was really nothing between KO and Sammy this week.
That I hope I'm fine with him coming in, wrecking havoc, leaving. I do wish there was a little bit of the interaction with Sammy, because if that's going to be the route they're going with the tag match, how are we going to get to it? Other than at some point KO has to get Sammy or KO has to be getting beat up so bad that the other one has to save him.
That's fair.
But I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. Completely fine with KO doing the running in Stone Cold kind of style. Just wreck some havoc, leave.
Wreck some havoc and leave. No, I'm all for it too. So let's jump now to finally we see Roman Reigns, and he's in the ring with Cody, and they had about a 6-7 minute back and forth exchange. Starts off, the entire bloodline is in the middle of the ring, and then Cody comes out, and he doesn't really wait too long. There's nothing really said by the bloodline prior to him getting there. Then he gets in the ring, and he basically says, calls him a chicken shit for basically being in the ring with four guys. Are you gonna
your guards there?
Yeah. So then they leave. What do you think of that interaction?
Oh, I loved it, because then you saw Roman. I don't need these guys. Get out, and then Heyman hand him the titles, and he sets them down, and it was cool because each of them was facing a different way. So they were facing, one was facing Cody, one was facing Roman.
I do think he kind of fucked up a little bit on that second one.
Yeah.
When
oh yeah, definitely for sure. But it's cool that we've really only seen Roman flanked by either Paul Heyman or the rest of the bloodline.
Yeah,
and to see him out there by himself, it almost. I know it's WWE. There's still some free creativity with your promos, but I know a lot of them are scripted. This kind of felt like one that was kind of just go out there and go at it. And it was one of those ones that wasn't shit talking. There was some shit talking.
Yeah, but it wasn't. This is still story based.
And there was that respectful nature.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it had to deal with Dusty.
Yes.
But it was still respectful, but you still saw the mind games being played in it.
What do you think about Roman's mic work right now? So let me kind of paint you a picture real quick. I don't know how long ago, but let's go back to Cena, Reigns, prior to the bloodline, prior to the heel turn, right? That night he got just completely eviscerated by Cena, right? And it was one of those, it's called a promo, kid. You're gonna have to learn how to do it someday if you want to be the big dog, right? And I thought that night was absolutely necessary in the growth of Roman Reigns.
Oh, agreed, 100%.
You agree with that?
Yeah. Oh, I agree, because Roman, we've all known he can go in the ring, and that was what he was lacking.
Yeah.
And finally WWE to admit it out to everybody too, that he needs work. And then after that, I think he's grown in leaps.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall behind the scenes that night after that segment ended. Like, what was said? You know what I mean? Does Roman just go to his locker room knowing that, like, I've got to get better? Or is there a conversation between John and Roman after that, behind the scenes? Like,
oh, I bet there's some conversation. I wouldn't even be shocked if I mean, they're wrestling's a fraternity, a brotherhood.
Yeah.
They're probably still helping each other out
Trying
all
to
the time. But yeah, hey, I'm gonna Cena almost being like, I'm gonna make you be better.
Yeah.
Because you are me.
Yes.
From
You are
years-
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the Vince's top guy right now.
You're the chosen one.
and you got to be better than this. And it.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was wondering, because now we fast forward to where we are now. And in my personal opinion, I think he's 100 times better on the mic, but he's always kind of have his goons out there and he doesn't say a whole lot all the time. And we're really kind of, still Heyman carries a lot of the big promo selling. But I got to be honest with you, like when this story settles and the dust settles and we get to Roman Reigns post this super villain, do you trust him to be able to carry a promo, in the fashion that you need to alone? Do you trust him? I don't yet. I still don't.
I trust him if he stays a heel.
If he stays a heel.
If he goes to a face, I don't know if he can, because that's what we had for the longest time. And it was awful.
I will say he looked extremely comfortable on Friday, just talking with Cody.
Yeah.
Starting off like, so what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, and that almost personal, instead of being over the top, I'm the greatest of all time. Just let's get to a personal level. Me and you, we're two buddies having a drink, having a talk. If there was a beer in front of us, we'd be sipping on a beer, having this conversation.
Yeah,
and they both knocked it out of the park. That was one of those things that I think I rewatched that segment.
Oh yeah, don't you
times over just because it was so good.
Totally agree. All right, so we're excited for the build for that right now. Let's talk about, because we're going to get flying here, what's the best of the rest that you've seen all week, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, NXT? What's something that still needs time? We have to mention it.
I'm going to go NXT 2.0.
Oh, wow.
I got
Okay.
2 matches on there.
All right.
First one, Carmelo Hayes versus Tyler Bate.
Okay.
Just a fantastic match. Those two guys are incredible workers. So from the moment they announced it, I knew it was going to be fantastic. Another one, I sang his praise. I think it was last week. Wesley.
Yeah, you did.
And, it did an open challenge for the North American Championship, and they had the giant brawl backstage. Who's going to go out there to fight it? You got Apollo Crews in his storyline with whatever they're going to, I think Babatunde, if they're going to go back to his old name. And then who comes out, bring back from injury, Nathan Frazier. Arguably one of the worst names that WWE has given somebody. Ben Carter, if you watch AEW and when he was in NXT. Quick side note before this, when I was at chiropractic school, Seth Rollins in Davenport, Iowa, Seth Rollins' school was there, and they were in partnership with SCW Wrestling, and Ben Carter was one of their wrestlers there.
Really?
Before, and I go watch a show, and I'm like, man, this guy's pretty good, but, he's an English guy, so he's kind of playing up, I'm better than you guys, all that stuff. Fantastic worker, mic skills were awesome too. And then 2 weeks later, he's on Dark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit.
How cool is that?
And it was awesome. And then to see, there was a signing, who was going to sign Ben Carter, but answered the open challenge, coming back from injury. Fantastic match. They killed it. Like I said, Wesley continues to grow as a star. Then they're building. I love when any type of promotion does an open challenge.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have the champions usually going to be really good in the ring, and then you're going to get to show somebody else. And they did a fantastic job showing Ben Carter. Nathan Frazier.
The only thing about the NXT that I wish they had a little more AEW in them is because they stay put. And I get it. They're back to the basics now. They are a developmental, and which is probably better for the overall product in the long run. But as far as NXT's product, you get kind of a stale crowd because you get the same guys there every single week. So that's the only thing. I wish those performers had a little bit more energy like the AEW fan base brings to their shows every week, because I think it would push them to be better performers in that moment too. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. So that's our WWE wrap up for the week. Usually we spend a lot more time on them and what's going on, but we can't because it's an AEW night, baby. Woo. AEW night, even though I'm rocking the, WrestleMania generic Walmart shirt today, but you've got the AEW Revolution shirt on.
I do. I have the I Was There shirt from the first ever Revolution when Moxley won the title from Jericho.
And yes, he's got an eye patch, but there's no blood on his face. So,
yeah.
So Moxley and, of course, Hangman Page are going at it tonight, and we'll talk about them in about let's go 8 minutes. Right now, we are going to give you a special special get to know us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Robert Gifford. That's Grant Clark. We're going to give you our Mount Rushmore. How should we do this? Should we go 1-1 or should you just reveal your 4 and we talk? I reveal my 4, you talk. How should we go about it?
I think let's just reveal them quickly and then we can talk.
All right. Give me your rundown of your 4.
All right. So I'm going to break this down. So each of my 4 is based off a different era of wrestling.
All right. Based off different eras, this is him. This, just so we're clear, this is your favorite Mount Rushmore. So this is not what he thinks.
If you don't like it, you can tweet at me, do whatever you want. I don't care.
You can go sit on a bag of.
So, but the worst part is for every single one, I have 2 people. So, all right. So for my first one, Golden Age Wrestling. So old school. Randy Savage. I love Randy Savage. He'll always.
Oh yeah.
Slap into a Slim Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, actually, I'm going to show you if I can get this. We're going to reveal the tattoo.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, look at those legs. Look at those legs.
Just an awful Macho Man Randy Savage tattoo, but I love it. So that's my number 1. If I had to have a number 2 from that area, Roddy Piper.
Oh, dude, we'll talk.
Okay, and then the second one is from our Attitude Era, The Rock.
Okay.
And if I had to do another one, it'd be Stone Cold.
Gotcha.
So next one, kind of ruthless aggression until the PG era, and I marked 2015. So we're going to go with Cena.
You're going all the way to 2015?
Yeah, kind of in that area. I was just going to go to 2015.
Fair enough.
So Cena's my number 1. Number 2 is going to be CM Punk.
Oh, okay.
And then I have, that one was hard because I had a lot of people. You got Jericho in there too, could be one. And then an honorable mention. I don't care what anybody says. AJ Styles, specifically from TNA.
Oh my God. The short-haired AJ Styles?
Loved
my
him.
God.
Okay, and then my modern. So past 2015, Kenny Omega.
Okay.
And then Seth Rollins. Those are kind of,
So I just want to make sure I got this straight. We have Macho Man. We've got The Rock.
Yep.
We've got Cena
and Omega.
And Kenny Omega is your Rushmore. That's
my number 1.
So those are your 4.
Yes.
Okay. And then your secondary is Piper. Austin.
Punk.
So you're a Rock before Austin guy. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. There's stuff to do.
That one I debated a lot too because I like them both. But like I said, I was born in 94. So when I started really getting into wrestling, it was towards the tail end of the Attitude Era. So I don't have the affinity as someone like you would have for him.
Right.
And then, like I said, Punk would be 2, and then Rollins would be 2.
Oh, I hated Stone Cold Steve Austin when it was happening live.
Yeah.
Hated him.
Really?
Hated him. And I'll tell you why. Well, I'll tell you why in a second. And you'll know, you should kind of pick up on why because of my number 1 all time.
Okay.
Let's hear yours. Just kind of, before we get to mine though, I just want to kind of talk about yours real quick. So your Rushmore, it's so funny because Macho Man is in my top, 20. Yeah. And that's a big list, I know. But like Macho Man is one of the greatest wrestlers all time. Greatest promos guys, just the way they did it back then, he made you believe, right? Yeah. He had storyline after storyline. He could fight little guys. He could fight big guys. He was high action before there was high action.
Yep.
And he could carry anything, right? He was still always number 2 to Hogan's 1.
Yep.
And that was kind of like, unfortunate. Piper, dude, mad respect. Never got enough love. I still don't think he gets enough love. I think Roddy Piper is one of those guys that I put in the top 10. Maybe if I was to sit down and write this out, top 5 best promo guys of all time.
Here, to put it this way, and I don't think I've told really anybody, so I'm having a second daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, breaking news.
Yeah, so I'm having another daughter here soon, and her name is going to be Piper. And it is solely based off the fact of Roddy Piper. And my wife knows that, and she hates it. So
wait, did she get to name the first one? You got to name the second one?
She did name the first one. So.
Okay, so,
and
not,
she said I could
not Carmella, not Bianca, not...
No, Piper. So
I love it, dude. I love it. All right, let me give you mine then.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I didn't do mine by eras. I just did mine by just simply who made me feel over the time, right? Macho Man is on the shirt, by the way.
I know.
Roddy Piper is as well.
I love that shirt.
My number 1 when I was growing up was Hulk Hogan. And I'm the very stereotypical, I'm deer in the headlights, just in awe of who he was, right? So much so that at 10 years of age in 96 at Bash at the Beach, when he comes out and he goes to NWO, I am the kid that's bawling his eyes out because not only did I think the whole thing was real, my hero turned on us, right? That's also the same night that I found out that wrestling isn't real.
It's predetermined.
It's
still real to us.
Still real to us, baby. That's when I learned that it's fixed, not fake. And that didn't bring me any peace of mind, but that was then. In my adult age, and I still kind of go back from this because I feel like I'm kind of going against my inner child before, but my number 2 on the list, if not necessarily number 2, but like my Mount Rushmore number 2 on that list is the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And that's the reason why I hated Stone Cold Steve Austin, because I wanted Shawn Michaels to be the guy. And I believed at that time he could carry the company, especially in the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
And they went to Austin. And at that time I didn't know, but Shawn was, a drug addict and was falling apart. But I just thought, I knew Shawn Michaels was the greatest wrestler, in my opinion. He still is the greatest wrestler of all time. Period. Hands down. 96, you had WrestleMania 12, Bret Hart to fight with him. I think is top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time. Undertaker 1 is my favorite WrestleMania match of all time. Just all these things. Now, this is where it gets a little, I'm with you. It's so funny because for the longest time, I defended John Cena for what he was.
Yeah.
John Cena has never been one of my favorite guys, but like the way he kind of dragged wrestling over the coals because there was no competition was crucial. But with that being said, I was a Randy Orton guy.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So Randy Orton's on my Mount
Okay.
Rushmore.
I thought about him too for mine as well. So
and now where we are is, as much as I love Bray Wyatt and all the potential in the world that I think he could be and yet to be tapped into, Seth Rollins has tapped into it. So I am a Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan. That's my Mount Rushmore. Jake Roberts is an honorable mention.
Never trust a snake.
Never trust a snake.
So the biggest reason, and I want to talk, I like your list. I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Too. Because most of those guys were on there. I did think about Hogan. I'm just not a big Hulk Hogan fan.
Sure.
Because I like Savage. So, but I did the eras just because
The mega powers.
each era could have its
Oh, dude.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh.
So I wanted to give a little bit of nod to each one. I'm shocked. I thought maybe you'd put Vince McMahon on yours. I thought you would, just talking to you and knowing. I thought you'd have Vince on.
Hey, you know what? That's actually, is Vince McMahon the wrestler? No, not happening.
No. Hey.
Fair enough.
Do-rag ECW title Vince.
Here's what I would like to yeah, exactly. Here's what I would like to do. We are supposed to be starting our prediction show, and we're going to be doing that in 2 minutes counting. 2 minutes and now 120 seconds. We're going to get there real quick. I'm going to give you what I believe to be the top 4 Mount Rushmore guys. You tell me who you would pull out and who you would put in. Okay, who you're keeping in. This is my opinion now. Number 1, Hulk Hogan. He's, in my opinion, is the Babe Ruth of sports entertainment and making this thing go just ginormous.
Okay.
Right? Number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
He took the torch, not necessarily directly from Hogan, but took it to the next level.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Number 3, I'm going to do this. This is not in no order. John Cena.
Okay.
Nobody has had the longevity of a John Cena in the history of this company. And he carried WrestleMania after WrestleMania, storyline after storyline. Not the greatest wrestler, didn't need to be. 5 moves of doom type thing, didn't need to be. This is where it gets interesting in my book. I think there's a 4 that's clear to a lot of people. A lot of people would argue The Rock should be 4. I am a company man, and I'm a businessman. I'm a pro wrestling fan. I think 4 is The Undertaker.
Man.
Who are you keeping in? Who are you putting out? Ric Flair did not make that list, in my opinion.
That's the one I'm
The Rock is not on that list.
Personally, not a Ric Flair. I mean, I understand Ric Flair, what he did, everything. So he's one that I'm like, ooh, you want to hear something? And I'll probably get some really shit on by the people that do this.
You're gonna say overrated?
No, I'm gonna say overrated is The Undertaker. I like Kane more than I like The Undertaker.
Said no one.
Little side note quickly too. The college I went to, Quincy University, Kane was there for 1 semester.
Oh, really?
Yeah, played basketball there 1 semester, then transferred out.
Just
okay. I like Kane as a character. I would get rid of Kane, and
you would get rid of who?
Oh, sorry, I would get rid of The Undertaker.
Okay,
and I would probably put The Rock.
So The Rock, Cena,
Stone Cold,
and Hogan. That's that's Mount Rushmore professional wrestling.
That's probably where I would go.
You could argue, and I would agree. I'm just a very, very stubborn.
I do understand The Undertaker. Yeah. The streak.
The streak was so important.
The moments, throwing mankind off the cell.
Yeah.
Like,
I just look at it as loyalty to this man did wrestling for that long. where the other ones, even Stone Cold, went and did movies. Hogan, movies. And we should do a Mount Rushmore of wrestling
and Mount
actors.
Rushmore of celebrities. We talked about that. But one thing quickly, I mean, Undertaker loyalty. He's never going to show up on AEW.
Ever.
He never showed up in the Impact Zone or
Ever.
WCW. I mean, he did way before with me and Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
But, hey, I agree. That's fine. I like that pick. I think yours is good. Like I said, only one I would change, put Rock in there for Undertaker.
We're going to let you guys make the debate online. We're going to post all these things. JBB Wrestling at JBB Wrestling on Instagram. Hit us up. You can watch the show on YouTube. And starting next week at 7 o'clock Central Time, or not Central Time, what are we? Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We're going to be live on Twitch for the first time. Hopefully we can take your calls. We're going to try to have something a little special. You guys can give us your thoughts on anything, but would you keep Rock in? Would you keep Taker in?
Would you throw Flair in there?
Would you throw Flair in there? We want to know. What's your guys' choice? We're going to post that on at JBB Wrestling Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, AEW Revolution is upon us. Big show tonight, 60-minute Iron Man match, so kind of main event it between MJF and Bryan Danielson. What's up? What's your overall thoughts on this card? Are you excited for it?
Oh, I'm extremely excited for it. When we talked last week, I know there was some hesitancy. You're like, oh, will you buy it? I was like, I'm not really sure. But, I mean, they added some more matches into it within the last few days, solidified everything. I'm really excited for it.
You know, and I was thinking if we're going to do this, which we're on the journey now. This is show number 3, right?
Yeah.
We got to dive in. Let's dive in. We're going to do it now. So it's here. It's upon us. I got to be honest with you. So, like, I'm a DVR guy when it comes to AEW Dynamite. And I will admit, there's a lot of times where I do stop because I'm just curious. And I could know a lot more. Definitely. I was asking you some things off air, like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Why was that happening? But I do watch the main guys in the build. And in my opinion, I think Bryan Danielson and MJF it's been a good build. A lot of people have been arguing, though, that this is one of Tony's worst builds to a big pay-per-view. What's your thoughts on that as you're somebody that has been to AEW live events?
Man,
By the way, Tony just won Booker of the Year for the third straight year.
Third straight year. Congratulations, Tony. No, I compared with especially MJF, because they've had some fantastic feuds with MJF. Might it be the Cody Rhodes MJF, CM Punk MJF. I think this is one of the weaker ones, but it's still built very well. Now, nowhere in the storyline of like the Bloodline, of course. I don't think anything's touching that, but they are doing a good job at, oh yeah, it's a 60-minute Iron match. Can you do that, MJF?
Yes.
Where in MJF, like, you can tell, oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to take all these cheap shots at Bryan Danielson. I'm going to injure him as much as I can so he can't. And I like stuff like that because it's almost, like I said, we've had this conversation. I'm not the biggest storyline guy, but I do love the competition aspect where I'm better than you. MJF's catchline, I'm better than you, and you know it. Like, that idea. So I think, yeah, it's a weaker build, but I mean, still pretty solid.
I think it's a weaker build, but the card itself is still, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And
this is where it's so funny for me. If I wasn't doing the show with him, I still wouldn't have bought my first, AEW Dynamite, or Revolution pay-per-view here. However, with that being said, I think this is the night where, like, you live for these nights because you're going to get all the action that you want. The storylines are behind us. Yeah. This is all for what you love about AEW, and you're probably going to get. This is going to be the thing where it's like, when I watch this show, when it's all said and done, was there anything that made me dive in? You know what I mean? In the middle of the match, made me emotional, made me have a reaction.
Are you going to be kind of how we're talking about when Elimination Chamber occurred, where we're sitting on the edge of the seat? Oh, yes. What's going to happen? Are you going to have that moment? Because I know I'll be there because I'll see some like 450 splash or something cool, and I'll be so excited. But is there going to be a storyline that builds you in? And I'm excited to see that too. I'm really excited to see. I think this is going to be a good journey for you. All
right, let's go through the card, man. Let's go through the card. There's 9 matches on this, at least what's been touted. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, let me see.
You want to go off of that?
I want to make sure we got
same thing.
So we'll just quickly announce 0 Hour. Their match just finished.
They did?
Yeah, Briscoes and Lucha Bros won that, which everybody expected that to happen.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to go anywhere else. I have a big, for those at home, I have a big light in front of my face. I cannot see the TV. So.
I have a nice view of it. It's really nice. All right. So I'll just go through matches, I guess. And
so we're going to give our predictions. We'll talk a little bit about the match, and then we'll go to the next match.
So we're going to start off with Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. JAS is banned from ringside.
Which they should be, right?
Yeah.
So last week we talked a little bit about what I liked about this match is because right now this is still touted to be just a regular match, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is where I think you can get storyline. This is where I think you can get good old traditional one-on-one wrestling match and have it be told and trust Jericho's going to get you there. It's so funny before we give our predictions. I think this could be one of those, and we'll talk about it at the end as well, but like one of those show stealer type matches. Definitely think the crowd will be into this one. I think they'll enjoy it. What's your thoughts on the match?
No, I think it's going to be good. And like you said, this will probably be a match that draws you in. Yeah, there is no stipulation other than they can't be at the ringside. Now, is that actually going to hold true, or are we going to have a ref bump and then Sammy Guevara runs in there and does something? Who knows? But I think it's going to be good. Ricky Starks has grown into an extreme competitor. Starting when he was just a heel, kind of despicable, and now he's a fan favorite. Chris Jericho is Chris Jericho.
Yep.
I mean, he is a GOAT. So, I mean, he's going to be up there. It's going to be a great match. I'm excited for it.
I love that Jericho has turned into just getting these younger guys over, and he just loves it, right?
Loves it. And what he just came out and said he doesn't plan to go anywhere else. He's going to finish his career with AEW. So
I doubt that. I'm still calling shenanigans on that. We'll see. At the end of it, you still have ego. You still want that big pop. You still going to want that big moment. He'll get it.
But he did say similar to how Piper would never work Portland. He said he would never work in the United States as long as Vince McMahon was in charge, and he did it. So.
Yeah,
I think he'll stay. Tony's giving him whatever he wants.
Bret Hart said he was never coming back to WWE either.
That is true.
And his brother died, and he blamed WWE.
Brett screwed Brett. So.
Yeah.
All right, next match,
dude. Touche. Thank you. Let's get some love on that. All right, hey, hang on. No, we gotta give our predictions.
Oh, predictions.
Give our predictions.
Go ahead.
And,
who do you got?
all right, so I'm gonna actually go on the line. So Ricky Starks is 1-0 against Jericho,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So I'm gonna take Ricky Starks to be 2-0. And I'm going to say that there is no tomfoolery. There might be some semblance of tomfoolery, but I think Stark still wins.
I'm going to go completely opposite with you. I think Jericho wins, but there is a lot of tomfoolery.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I guess I think there's probably a ref bump or something like that, or something's going to happen. The JS is going to be involved.
I just feel like we're on the verge of another Jericho remake, and JS is going to go away. But we'll see.
I would be okay with that though. But I'm going to go with Jericho. So next match, we'll talk about Christian Cage versus Jungle Jack Perry in the final burial. Now, I don't know what that means at all. So your picture went away that had the graphics.
So you know what this is, don't you?
Is it a buried alive match?
It's a buried alive.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
And that goes with the story, right?
Yeah, it does go with it because that's the whole thing.
Is it though? Is it going to be awesome?
I
mean, buried alive matches are for these mysterious. I mean, this is what we've been trained. Yeah,
you're
right?
Mysterious characters.
This is the Undertakers, the Kanes, the Mankinds of the world, right?
The
Bray Wyatts. Is this really Jungle Boy versus Christian?
I don't know, but I think it's going to be good. I mean, this is our first ever one.
Okay.
So,
do these matches bother you? Because clearly no one's dying.
Nah, I don't care.
Right, because we suspend our belief, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the moment, it's going to be like, oh God, they just killed so and so, and I'll be upset for about 5 minutes. No, but I mean, I think this Jungle Boy, I mean, big star in the making. He's got the look, he has the moves, everything, has the music or entrance theme. Christian Cage, I think, is another one. I mean, should be a Hall of Famer. We yelled that at him one time at a pay-per-view when he was on a WWE panel, and he winked at us. It was awesome.
Oh, that's nice to know. Yeah.
So I think Christian Cage, they're going to put on a good match. But like I said, I don't have any expectations other than what WWE has. So, and AEW tries to kind of change things a little bit from what WWE's used to.
Yeah, what is it exactly going to look like? Yeah. Yeah, that's the question. Is it going to be the old tombstone right above it?
Oh, it's going to be. It has to be. They even teased it on, I think, Dynamite or Rampage, the tombstone.
So ridiculous. Jungle Boy versus Christian in a freaking final burial match.
In 2023. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take Christian Cage.
I'm going to take Jungle Boy.
Dude, we are already on both sides of this thing already. That's interesting. I think, I say that. I think Jungle Boy, I think the storyline ends.
Yeah.
And Jungle Boy's got to get the payoff. I'm actually going to, you've swindled me. I'm going to change.
The only reason I think Jungle Boy gets it, and like I said, it has to end because Christian, I mean, they have a match and then Christian is injured.
Yeah.
So just end it. Let Jungle Boy be on top because he's the future star. He's a pillar of AEW. Yep.
And he's an AEW homemade.
I love Christian Cage, one of my favorite wrestlers. And he just, I mean, he'll continue. He'll put on a great match, and he'll push this guy forward, get him onto the next feud.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm actually changing mine. Right. So I'm gonna go with Jungle Boy.
Write that down. All right. What do you got? Which one you want to go talk about next?
Let's just do them in order here. We got the trio or the tag team championship after that.
Tag team championship. So we got the Ass Boys, aka the Guns.
I'm an ass man.
The Acclaimed. So, and then Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Orange Cassidy, and Danhausen for AEW tag.
I am Danhausen.
He's from Detroit. You know that?
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I wish I knew that. I would be a little more of a diehard for him. But this is tough.
This is tough.
This is one of those. All right, it's been touted on the internet to be the comedy match of the night.
Yeah. Well, when you add Danhausen in anything, it's instantly the comedy match.
And does that bother you? Does that downplay the significance of the tag team championships? That it becomes this, and I'm all for a variety show. That's what Vince McMahon always used the term variety show. Does it bother you that they got thrown into this at the last second where the other three teams kind of have a little bit better story going? Does that bother you at all?
Yeah.
It does.
The reason it bothers me is in those battle royales, there were so many other teams that could have probably used it.
Yeah.
The Butcher and the Blade.
Butcher and the Blade, we talked about that. I think they would have been perfect for that match. Yeah. A little bit more size, you know.
I know the best. I mean, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen came in for the best friends injured. I don't know if they actually are or not. I mean, they would be fantastic in the match. The Lucha Bros, all right. So, I mean,
FTR.
Who knows? I mean, there is rumor that they're going to be the ones who win take the title off whoever next. So,
okay.
Honestly, this match, it's going to be good. If you like standard professional wrestling, you are going to hate this match.
Yep.
Because the tag rules will not be abided by.
Yep.
And everybody's going to talk shit about it.
Yep.
Jim Cornette might have an aneurysm over it.
He's already started. He hasn't even seen it. He's already started.
It's going to be a fun match. I'll jump ahead. I think this is going to be the starter of the show.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I do too, but we'll get there.
And you know what? I'm excited to see because I bet you Jeff Jarrett's going to hit somebody with a guitar, and I'm going to pop for that because I love it. Orange Cassidy's going to do something fun. Danhausen's going to do something stupid.
Yep.
In the end, I think the Guns retain.
Okay.
And you ready for this? Because Billy Gunn turns on the Acclaimed. There's no more scissoring me, daddy ass. It's over. The Guns go over, and then FTR takes it from them because I don't care about the tag title being on the Guns at all.
Great minds think alike, my friend. I'm actually with you. It's so funny when Danhausen and Orange Cassidy got thrown in this. First of all, Orange Cassidy is the All-Atlantic champion.
That should be defended on this pay-per-view. That
should have been defended against Big Bill or whoever. Should have been defended on this pay-per-view. It's one of those things. They're kind of stuck in that era of like when the Intercontinental Championship wasn't even, represented for a while there in WWE. There was one WrestleMania where the Intercontinental Championship wasn't even on the card. Yeah. I hope AEW doesn't go that route. That should have been on here, but he's already a champion. I don't like the idea of them winning, so I already discount them. I don't think Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, although they could be the black sheep of this match and end up winning it.
Yeah.
I don't think the Acclaimed, because of the same thing. I think there's a turn by Daddy Ass,
and that continues that feud.
Yep.
Down the road,
and I think
until the time FTR is back to get the titles, because that's the report that they're going to take the title off of the next one. So
I think the Guns and Acclaimed are probably the two favorites, right? Yeah. But I think Guns will keep it. I'm with you.
Good.
What's next?
All right. I don't have that pulled up. So let's just go with the women's match. Jamie Hayter, Ruby Soho, and Saraya.
Wow, you're good. That was the next one.
Wow, I'm really good. So
I gave you my thoughts on this last week. I'm with Saraya all the way.
All the way. I am gonna. I don't remember what I said, but I'm just gonna throw it out, and I'm gonna say that Jamie Hayter retains.
You're gonna go with the retain. I said this is where I think they need someone relevant and somebody, and not to downplay. She's been champion for over 100 days, and Hayter, and I get it. I just don't think she's quite at that level yet, and I think you need someone at that level. Saraya's here. Let's give it to her.
I understand that too, and it's going to bring people know who she is, even though it's not going by page. She's not going by page. People, wrestling fans, still know who she is, so that's going to draw.
WWE did there was a whole movie based on Saraya.
So I just want to be different. I'll go with Jamie Hayter.
Ooh, okay.
Next one, what do we got? We got Big Men Smacking Meat next.
Oh, Big E's fave, baby.
So Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship. Samoa Joe is your champion. This is going to be hard hitting, and it's going to be fun, and they're going to tease Powerhouse Hobbs multiple times. If you didn't watch Dynamite Powerhouse Hobbs won the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Fantastic match. Please go watch it if you have a replay or saved it.
Yeah,
it's worth the time. No, this is going to be fantastic. That's going to be hard hitting. They're going to smack the shit out of each other.
I'm excited for this one because Samoa Joe is one of those guys that when he first came, like he was in TNA.
Oh, I loved it.
Right. And I hated it. Right. I hated it because I judged it from afar. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, he's not built. I hate his shorts. I hate him with a passion. I'm like, I hate his whole look. I don't understand why this guy is a thing. Then he picked up a microphone, and then I watched his moveset.
Hey, Wendy.
That
was good. No, Samoa Joe. I mean, I love Samoa Joe.
I get it.
I don't think he's winning.
I don't think he's winning
because
either.
I think they're going to use him as the because he's the Ring of Honor, I believe, television
He'll
champion.
be the face of the place over ROH.
He'll get Ring of Honor going up. So Wardlow takes it, and then we get him versus Hobbs for another big man smack and meat match.
You know, yeah. This is where I'm at with Wardlow. We talked about this last week a little bit. He was as high as Bill Goldberg as far in the sense, he never made Bill Goldberg's status. He was never there, but he was on the rise like Goldberg was. And they fumbled it completely, in my opinion. They fumbled like the Sammy Guevara heat. Yeah. They fumbled a lot of things, and don't get me wrong, WWE's fumbled a lot of things too. I hope this is the track to getting him back. You know what I mean?
I think it is. They even interviews with him recently that he didn't understand everything like that he was being given, that they were pushing him for this. He took it for granted, and he's ready to make it men. So, I mean, yes, it has nothing to do with the wrestling part, but I think when he gets it, we're going to see him shine even more and just launch him to where he should be with the main event.
And I got to tell you just real quick, I kind of been thinking about this match the last couple of days, and what I would have done if Samoa Joe wasn't the ROH champion, I would make it a squash match. I would. Just to get Wardlow back.
Yeah. I mean,
Samoa's Teflon. I would make that match because these matches, dude, this is there's a 60-man or 60-minute Iron Man match at the end of this card. There's 8 matches before it. What time are we getting done with this show tonight? It's a Sunday.
Oh, midnight easily.
It's going to be midnight easily, right? So they're going to have to be some quick matches.
It still could be.
It could be.
It won't hurt Samoa Joe if he loses. I mean, that quick.
I'm going to go on the record right now and say that's a squash match. And by squash match, I'm going to say it's 5 minutes or less.
All right. I mean, if that happens, that would be awesome. I would love it.
John Morant style, bang bang.
Oh, jeez. But I'm gonna go Wardlow as well on that one.
Okay.
All right. Next match we're gonna talk about. Let's just talk about the Trios Championship quickly.
Excited for this match.
You are.
I am excited for this match. I, with a passion, hate the Elite. Hate the Young Bucks, and I'm on the fence with Omega. It's so funny that you think he's as good as he is. I think he's a little tad bit overrated. The man, in my opinion, sucks on a microphone. He's unbelievable in a wrestling ring, and I will never discount that. I'm always entertained by the match. I think he tells a really great story. I don't think he's very good on the microphone, but with every good story, you have to have a villain. He's my villain.
Okay.
I'm all for this match. It's Malachi Black.
Yeah.
I love the dark things that he's done in his career. I love that AEW is finally going to give them the nod tonight because, boys, they win these belts. The Trios belts are coming to House of Black, and they're finally, Malachi, Buddy Murphy, they're going to get their pats and their payoff that they deserve. That's my opinion.
Well, okay, first, you want to take that knife out of my back that you just shoved in there? So, opposite of you, I love Kenny Omega. I almost wore a Kenny Omega t-shirt today, too. So, next time I'll wear that. I love the Young Bucks as well. I have a picture with the Young Bucks.
Of course you would.
Nice gentlemen. Very good Christian boys. But I'm with you. House of Black takes it. You have to.
We're with each other. Right?
I think you don't bring Malachi Black back from his hiatus for nothing like that. And I think this works perfectly. They can take the belt. The Elite do not need it.
They don't need it.
They don't need it. Kenny Omega should be going for the main title. You position him. If MJF wins, he's going to be a perfect challenger for it because MJF is like, yeah, you suck. I'm better than you. Look at my nice belt. We can go with the Young Bucks can go for the tag titles. It's going to be a fantastic match. This will probably be the best match. I'm not going to say yes or no, but it's going to be up there. One of the best matches, but the House of Black takes it, and then they just skyrocket with it where they should be. And then potentially when we get to some of the other stuff we might talk about, I have a also prediction for this that I will talk about.
Okay.
So,
all right, we'll save that then. We'll give it.
Then next match.
It's the last match before the main event.
So,
it is your match that you're excited about.
John Moxley versus
Bloody.
Hangman Page in a Texas death match. I don't care what happens in this match. I just want to see people hit each other with light tubes, barbed wire, blood everywhere. And John Moxley will win it because this is John Moxley's match. And that is all I'm going to say. I'm very excited. Rob probably will get annoyed by me when we watch this.
So this would be one of those matches where I got to tell you, I call this the double B match. The double B match.
What's that mean?
Bathroom break.
Oh, wow. Dude, somewhere Mick Foley and Terry Funk are just looking down on you. Just what did he just say?
It's so funny because I have nothing but respect for what those guys did, how they made their name, and how they earned the respect of the wrestlers. Okay. I love what John Moxley wants to be and what he thinks he is. The problem is that I'm never sold on that. I'm not a big car crash guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm more of a nuance. I'm more of a, you know what I mean? I let the work in the ring show itself. I gravitate more to Seth Rollins rather than John Moxley, but I will admit the three of them together as a Shield, they were a perfect kind of like Dean Ambrose when he first kind of was like that lunatic on. Yeah, exactly. It worked for me. And I think he's done a very good job of polishing up what Dean Ambrose was. John Moxley so much better. Yeah. I just cannot stand all this blood. It's like he does. To me, it feels like an insecure thing, but in reality, it's just that's the route he loves. That's what he loves, and I respect it. I respect it. I just it's just not for me.
Well, while you take a bathroom break, I'm going to sit 2 inches away from the TV and watch it. So, okay.
Who you got to win this one? Who you picking?
Moxley.
So you don't think they slow Moxley's momentum at all?
No, it's Moxley's match. I'm giving him it.
Okay, I'm with you. I don't.
Yes,
think,
it says Texas in the name, and Hangman is a cowboy, but Moxley's going to beat him.
Here's the issue, though, is that, and we don't have time tonight, but like something to talk about on further shows is that if indeed Moxley wins this, what's next for Hangman Page? I feel like he needs something to like kind of build him back up again. Don't you agree with that?
That he's kind of stuck in that limbo. Even if he wins this, I still think he's stuck in that limbo.
Yeah.
I just think Hangman's stuck. They got to figure out something, but that can, like you said, be another day.
Yeah. I'm going to go on route and say Moxley wins it because it's his match, and a lot because AEW likes to pander to their crowd. Yeah. I don't think he should win the match, though. I just want that out there. I think Hangman Page should win the match.
How many minutes until the match does he bleed?
12.
5.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right. Last match. The big one.
Big one.
For the BBB. That big, beautiful belt.
Yeah, the Triple B match.
The Triple B. We have champion MJF versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Who would have thought that these two would be fighting in a 60-minute Iron Man
I
match?
thought Bryan Danielson would fight in one of these matches. Never in my life would thought MJF. MJF is going to make a lot of people believers finally, because everybody's like, oh, MJF, he's good in the ring, but he's all Mike. He's all a character. Yep. He's gonna put on a performance that everybody's gonna be like, okay, MJF can wrestle. We cannot doubt him anymore. And I think he wins.
Okay, so I'm with you. And not only, I was thinking long and hard about this from last week when we were talking. I'm with you. I think what they're doing is that this is Tony's way of saying, how can I make him the full package? Yep. This is what you do. You go out there and you beat arguably the best wrestler in the world, definitely on the card.
And at least the best technical wrestler.
Technical wrestler in the company by far. And you go toe-to-toe with MJF, and you put MJF over.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I totally agree. I think he wins it fair. Now, you're saying fair and square.
Are
you willing to go that far? I think he does.
You think fair and square? I think his pin hit. I think that ring's going to come into play.
Okay. I meant like, is there going to be outside interference?
No,
okay.
No, I don't care about that. No outside interference. I think it's just, if anything, interference, that ring's coming into play.
I think he wins the match. Yes. Okay. I'm with you.
Can we, do you want to, so you think MJF wins? Can I throw out some surprises, I think?
Yes, please.
Okay. Tag team trio match. Elite looks like they've got it won. Call me crazy. Who comes out? CM Punk. Cost them the thing. You instantly are right into a feud with Kenny Omega.
I'll say this. Let me just say this. If CM Punk shows up on this card tonight it is the jolt that this company needs to lead them back into the summer.
Yeah. So here's my other thing. If it isn't CM Punk, I'm going to throw out another name who's going to do it.
You just gave me goosebumps.
I know. I have them too. Another person, and this one's not going to be that cost the Elite the title. Adam Cole, baby.
I think Adam Cole stays clear.
You think Adam Cole, because he was, before the trios tournament, he attacked the Young Bucks with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
Does he come out with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly?
Well, Bobby Fish isn't with AEW anymore. Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, that's right.
And Kyle O'Reilly, from last I known, is still recovering from an injury.
So then I don't see how he comes out there alone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could just be a little distraction thing. Maybe trips up somebody. I don't know.
There's going to be some tomfoolery on the card. We know that. Where and when.
And if it isn't that, I do think at the end, if CM Punk doesn't, I just think CM Punk comes back tonight. And I know everybody's going to be like, oh, everybody thinks CM Punk's coming back. It writes itself. There's money to be made. Even if you bring him out if MJF wins, CM Punk never lost the belt, technically.
Yeah.
So him and MJF, that's a built-in feud right there. Adam Cole could come out after the match. I think that's less likely to happen because of the championship, because he hasn't wrestled in forever. So that's one that, would you really give him a shot right away?
I think they do.
You do? I mean,
I don't know that that's going to happen, but I think they would is what I should answer. Just to kind of wrap up the CM Punk thing, if you would have told me a month ago that CM Punk was going to come back to AEW, I would have said you were wrong. I think he's going to come back to WWE, actually, because I think he would be willing to work with Hunter. With Vince back in the picture a little bit, I don't know what CM Punk's future is. I think maybe he would come back to AEW now.
And I think, all aside, owner, the fact, WWE might be sold. Who are they? I know the Saudi Arabia thing too, with their views on women's rights. CM Punk's a huge advocate, so I don't think he'd go back there with that a potential.
I don't think that's ever getting sold there. I think that's just being used as leverage. And there's another thing that happened today with Endeavor that they said they're not interested, but that's a conversation for another day. We are at the end of our show. Let's wrap up some of our prop bets here. Now that we've given you our predictions for the show, let's kind of go down some of the kind of the fun ones here before we dive into watching AEW Revolution, brother.
Well, we already had one. So you said 12 minutes for Moxley. I said 5.
I said 12 because, how long do you think that match is going to be?
Oh, that match is going 25 minutes.
Oh my God.
It's going to be long. It's going to be long because you got to set up everything.
I just set it up and have it set up from the beginning and just do it.
Fair enough. Another bet, the women's match will go on after the trios match because
before the main event? Or are you just saying in general?
Just in general, because I think
so. That's what you're saying. You're predicting that
wrestling fans still aren't behind women's wrestling, especially in AEW yet. So they're going to be their BB, and everybody's going to be dead tired after that trios match.
That's a good call.
That is going to be the match that steals the show. That's my other bet too.
The women's match?
No, the trios match.
Oh, I'm with you 100%. I was going to give it to Ricky and Jericho, and I think I'm kind of overselling the crowd's excitement for that match. I think it's the trios match for sure. Yeah. I think the car crash match, the BB, in my opinion, I think that is. Do you think it's the first half of the card or the second half?
Second half. I think that goes on right before the main event.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I'm with you.
And then we both agreed that the tag title starts. Watch, we're going to be completely wrong.
Dude, I know, right?
But I think it will. It's going to be a good match. Get everything going. You get your comedy in there too right away.
Yep, you get your comedy. Everybody's in a good feeling mood. At the end of the night, you got MJF kind of towering over. I think that's kind of a good bookend for the show.
Here's my last bet I want to make. What's the score? Whose falls? What are we at?
Oh, dude, I was so glad you said that because I had that thought. I'm going to say that Danielson goes out to a big lead. And then when I say big lead, I'm going to say like 2-0. All right. And then I'm going to go as far as to say this is 4-3 MJF.
I'm going to go 3-2
okay.
MJF. I think MJF gets disqualified, one of them.
Okay.
And then the other Danielson one, he gets him in like his submission and taps very quickly just to get it out so he can get in there. And then MJF, shenanigans sometimes, things like that. Uses the ring one time.
Yeah.
Does a cheeky roll.
I should have thought this out a little bit more. You're right. If you play that out a little bit, you're right. There's some.
Because they did a similar thing with a best 2 out of 3 falls. NXT did with Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, that Johnny put Adam Cole in and he just tapped instantly.
Okay.
And the commentator's like, well, he doesn't want to be injured. He doesn't want to be sitting in that for a long time.
Yes.
Just take the fall and we'll continue. So I'm excited. This is going to be a fantastic show.
Do you think it goes into extra minutes?
I hope not, because it's going to be the last thing and it's going to be done at midnight and I got to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Did we miss any prop bets? Surprises? Any surprises?
Well, CM Punk, I
CM
think comes
Punk.
back, and Adam Cole, something in a match. I don't think we have a big signing or anything like that.
Okay.
Unless it could.
He
be
loves those signings, though, boy.
The Catalyst, the Switchblade, Jay White.
Ooh.
We don't know if he's going to WWE or not, but he could show up at this one. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to be on the record saying CM Punk does not show up tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant, Allmark, Clark, Robbie G. I'm your man. This is JBB. Enjoy AEW Revolution. We will talk to you guys next week when we are live on Twitch. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell anybody. Just holla. We're going to be there live on Twitch at 7 p.m. next Sunday.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. We did it.